Hello, I'm Josh with Joshin' Around with Cars, and in this video series, we're going to kind of go through our journey as we learn iRacing. So it's kind of interesting how we decided to try iRacing. I love playing console-based sim racing games, most recently Forza, also Gran Turismo, and that's really all I've ever played. And I finished Forza 7. I thought that was great. I love that I get to build up a collection. I love that I get to kind of progress through a career. And, it's a game that really takes a few years to complete. And so I was waiting and waiting for, Forza 8 to come out. And it came out several months late, came out in October. I got busy with work, so about 5 weeks ago is when I really started playing it a lot. And I'm done. So I don't know what to say about that. They really changed Forza 8. Their focus became less about building a racing career, building a car collection. What I really enjoyed was getting to drive the cars and get the authentic driving experience. If I have, in my old days, I had a BMW M5 E39, and that was a car that I could pick up. It had all the same driving dynamics, and I could see how that car that I used to own in real life would race on a track. And maybe some of you out there like it, but it seems like the new Forza that came out seems like they're really focused on building up a car from level 0 to level 50. I'm not even really confident that at level 0, when I first buy the car, that even really is what the car feels like. But in any case, I still enjoyed it, good graphics and so forth, and I finished it. I finished all the career races. I finished all the special events that are available. I did all the lap timing. I mean, I suppose I could keep trying to get my world ranking better, but really a game that I thought would take me 3, 4, 5 years, to finish playing, I'm done with. And so then it's like, well, what am I going to do with this? Because I really was looking forward to racing all these cars and driving all these different cars. And, I don't want to pay $30 a month for Xbox Gold. I don't want to do that on PlayStation. That stuff used to be free. I'm an old man. I don't want to pay for that. And I don't want to pay 30 bucks a month just to race and get rammed into the wall by an 8-year-old. So I was trying to think of something else that I could do. I thought about putting my PlayStation down here and connecting it to this rig that we have set up for Forza. That's not compatible, of course. So all this only works with Xbox, doesn't work with PS5. But then as I was looking that up and looking up the adapters you could try to use the same wheel, that seemed like that was going to be pricey. A lot of it seemed like it was questionable about whether it would work or not. And then I kind of thought, I started noticing and remembering really that the Xbox stuff works with PCs. And I know a lot about computers, but I've never really been interested in computer gaming. But I have a 5 or 6-year-old gaming laptop, and I looked at the medium level specs on iRacing. So I remembered iRacing became really big around the pandemic, and there were a lot of professional race car drivers when they couldn't drive were participating in iRacing, and because I don't do computer gaming, I really never thought about it. So I figured, okay, I've got this rig, I've got this big TV, I've got a gaming laptop that isn't very new, but the specs seem to match up. It's an i7, it's got 16 gig of RAM, and I didn't really think enough about the video card, which we'll talk about. So I figured no big deal. We're just going to plug that gaming laptop into this TV, and off we go. I should be able to race. So I looked up. There was no way to try the software for iRacing before you buy it. You just kind of have to buy it and go for it. So I did. And I got a 2-year subscription for $120 after tax. I think before tax it was like a little under $5 a month, which is fine. I'll pay that. That's not nearly the 30 bucks for Xbox Live just to try and play Forza online. And what I've heard about it, it seems like it's like a true, authentic experience. So I'm going to get to experience what these cars really feel like. I'm going to get to experience real racetracks, and that's appealing to me. So cool. So I've paid my 120 bucks. I plugged the laptop into the TV, and immediately I'm learning that, PC gaming is a whole different thing. I'm used to the consoles. You plug the console in, and there's nothing really else to think about. And that was not the case with this. Immediately on the TV screen, even after I changed resolution and tried to work with it. I mean, the graphics were terrible and everything was very laggy, and it was just overall like a really bad experience. And I wasn't sure if this means that my older laptop is the problem. I wasn't sure if that meant that the display itself was a problem. I'm probably also not using like the highest end HDMI cable, but I don't think that's really what's going on here. So the next thing I thought is, okay, I'm going to take a, as the kids would call, janky little TV dinner table and set that here in front of the rig. I'm going to set the laptop up on top of that, and I'm just going to try and drive and look just at the monitor and see, you know, how that changes the experience versus all this terrible, you know, low-end graphics, Minecraft-looking graphics, no matter what I did, and the lagginess that I was getting. And that made a big difference. But it's also hard to see. It's hard to stay on the track. I can't see what's going on. I had to turn on the driving line. You know, it's just a very small window. I think this is like a 15-inch laptop here that we're looking at. But I think it made some improvement, but I'm still getting a little bit of lagginess, especially when I go through here, one of the last couple turns on Lime Rock, which is the track that I've started on. So at this point now, I've got to figure out, you know, I've got the wheel, I've got this chair that was pretty inexpensive. It's like a lawn chair, you know, with some mounts, but works good, and we've liked it. So I've got that starting point. I've got 120 bucks in. You know, now what am I going to have to buy? I was kind of hoping just that I could use what I had, and that 120 was it. But I'm learning the things aren't that easy when you start doing PC gaming. So now we've got better performance with the native monitor from the laptop. We've still got some lagginess. So what we've done is we've gone and we've looked at spending $400 here on Amazon, and we got like a $200 gaming monitor, which has a much better refresh rate than this $400 TV that works great for console, not so much for PC gaming. This monitor's a couple $100. It's got a 200 megahertz refresh rate. So that's on the way. You know, we're going to set that up. We're going to evaluate that. We've also got the Next Level Racing monitor stand, which is kind of made to go with this rig. So we can set that monitor up in the proper position, but also we can move that out of the way without unhooking the monitor, so that we can still, you know, play Forza and all the other games on the Xbox. I also got a 16 gig upgrade kit for the laptop. See if we go from 16 gig to 32 gig to see if that has any impact. I'm not super hopeful because I think we may be having a video card issue. You know, my video card is, I think, was something that was released in like 2014 or 2016, and I think it's on the bottom end of acceptable now. Like I said, when I looked at the specs, the requirements on the iRacing website, I looked at the gigs of RAM, I looked at the processing. You know, my i7 kind of fits in the middle there. I didn't really think about the video card because I don't normally do PC gaming. So I think that may be an issue, but we're going to experiment with that. We're going to see what the results are. As far as the iRacing itself, I mean, it did feel very real. And now that I'm using the laptop monitor in a testing rig, kind of a temporary setup, you know, it was a lot better. It was definitely fun, and I was able to do an AI race and mostly stay on the track. But we're going to get all this stuff in. We're going to do our upgrades, and then we're going to see where we stand. We're going to see, you know, if we got away with this $400 upgrade plus the 120 in subscriptions, and see if that gets us racing, or we gonna have to buy a whole new computer. I don't know. So stick with us. You know, we're going to keep documenting this journey. So we're going to get this stuff upgraded. We're going to show you that. And then we're going to see where we stand. So until next time, this is Josh with Joshing Around with Cars. Make sure that you like and subscribe so that you'll get notified when our next steps in this journey are posted. Peace.